I told you not to touch my office. Do you know how much these shoes cost?
I am sorry, ma'am.
Sorry does not pay dry cleaning bills. People like you should be grateful you even have a job.
They should stop hiring homeless people. I heard he sleeps in his car.
Sir, I can call him now. No.
On the morning Adrian Carter turned 38, he ignored the line of luxury cars waiting outside his mansion. Instead, he stood in front of a floor-to-ceiling mirror, staring at a man he barely recognized. His custom-tailored Italian suits hung untouched in the closet. His diamond watch remained inside its velvet box. The private chef had prepared breakfast. The helicopter pilot was waiting. His assistant had already scheduled 12 meetings that could generate another $100 million before sunset. None of it mattered. Adrian picked up a faded blue work shirt with the name Daniel stitched above the pocket. The fabric was worn. The sleeves were slightly frayed. A pair of inexpensive work boots sat beneath the chair. His butler watched in confusion. "Sir, are you certain about this?" Adrian smiled faintly. "When was the last time someone looked at me without seeing dollar signs?" The older man remained silent. "When was the last time someone argued with me because they truly believed I was wrong?" Silence again. "When was the last time a woman smiled at me before searching my name online?" His butler lowered his eyes. "There has not been one, sir." That answer hurt more than Adrian expected. 3 years earlier, the woman he had planned to marry had confessed something during what was supposed to be a romantic dinner. She had never loved him. She loved the private islands, the penthouse, the yacht, the headlines, the Carter name. Everything except the man sitting across from her. The engagement ended that night. Since then, every date felt like another business negotiation disguised as romance. Every compliment sounded rehearsed. Every laugh came too quickly. Every conversation somehow returned to money. His fortune had built skyscrapers across America. Yet it had built walls around his own heart. Today, he intended to tear those walls down. His attorney thought he had lost his mind. His board of directors threatened to block the idea. Even his younger sister, Naomi, laughed when he explained his plan. "You want to pretend to be a janitor? A cleaner? There is a difference." "There is." She folded her arms. "And what exactly do you expect to find while pushing a mop?" "The truth." Naomi shook her head. "People do not show you who they are because of your clothes." "They do." "No. They absolutely do." She sighed. "You are trying to fix loneliness with an experiment." "I am trying to find honesty." Naomi studied her brother's face. For the first time in years, she saw something that board meetings and billion-dollar acquisitions had never shown. Hope. Fragile. Dangerous. Real. "You are serious?" "I already filed the paperwork." "What paperwork?" "I hired Daniel Brooks yesterday." She blinked. "The real cleaner. He starts next month." "So who?" "I'll be Daniel until then." Naomi burst into laughter. "You have absolutely lost your mind." "Probably." She stopped laughing. "But I hope you find what you're looking for." "So do I." Carter Global headquarters towered above downtown like a monument to ambition. Thousands of employees entered its revolving doors every morning. Few knew the owner personally. Adrian had designed it that way. Executives knew his face. The average employee did not. Most had only seen photographs in annual reports. With a baseball cap pulled low, thick-framed glasses, a short beard, and ordinary work clothes, Adrian looked nothing like the polished billionaire whose face occasionally appeared on magazine covers. The disguise was surprisingly simple. People saw what they expected to see. And no one expected a billionaire to be carrying a mop. Human Resources introduced him to the cleaning supervisor, Martha. She barely glanced at his resume. "You've cleaned office buildings before." "Yes, Can you work nights when necessary? Absolutely. Can you keep your mouth shut about things you overhear? Yes. She handed him a cart full of supplies. Welcome aboard. That was it. No one asked about his education. No one cared where he came from. No one offered coffee. No one smiled. He had become invisible in less than 5 minutes. The realization unsettled him. Throughout the day he cleaned conference rooms, emptied trash cans, wiped fingerprints from glass walls, and polished marble floors while executives hurried past without making eye contact. Some thanked him. Most did not notice him. A few spoke about him as though he were furniture. Someone needs to clean this mess. The trash is overflowing. Why are these people always in the way? These people. Not even names. Just functions. Around lunchtime he entered the employee cafeteria. Every table seemed divided by invisible social ranks. Executives. Managers. Assistants. Interns. Maintenance workers. Nobody crossed those invisible lines. As Adrian searched for an empty seat, he noticed a woman standing near the coffee station. She wore a navy blue administrative badge. One heel on her shoe had snapped clean off. Coffee covered the front of her blouse. Several employees laughed quietly as they walked past. She looked embarrassed but forced a smile anyway. Without thinking, Adrian grabbed paper towels from a nearby counter. Here. She looked surprised. You do not have to help. I know. She accepted the towels. Thank you. It looks like the coffee attacked first. She laughed. A genuine laugh. Not the practiced laugh he heard at charity galas. I definitely lost that fight. I'm Daniel. Emily. For a brief moment, the noise of the cafeteria disappeared. She wasn't studying his clothes. She wasn't trying to figure out his salary. She wasn't pretending to be impressed. She simply smiled. You are new. First day. I'm sorry. He laughed. Is it always this obvious? No. She leaned closer. People here can be difficult. Before he could respond, another employee interrupted. Emily. A sharply dressed woman approached with a disapproving expression. Are the quarterly reports finished? I'm almost done. Then why are you standing here talking to the cleaning staff? Emily's smile faded. I was just saying thank you. The woman glanced at Adrian as if he were part of the furniture. Well, gratitude is nice. Deadlines are better. She walked away without waiting for a reply. Emily looked embarrassed. I'm sorry. For what? For that. He smiled. You didn't do anything wrong. She hesitated before leaving. It was nice meeting you, Daniel. You too. Adrian watched her disappear into the crowd. For the first time in years. A conversation had ended without anyone asking what he owned. Without anyone trying to impress him. Without anyone expecting anything from him. He found himself smiling. Maybe this crazy plan was not so crazy after all. He picked up his cleaning cart and headed toward the executive floor, unaware that before the day was over, he would learn just how cruel people could become when they believed someone had no power. And before anyone discovered who he truly was. One public act of humiliation would shake the entire company, expose the character of those who led it, and change the lives of everyone inside the building forever. Emily started noticing him before she understood why. Not Daniel's name. Not his job. The way he paid attention. Most people at Carter Global headquarters moved like they were chasing something they had already lost. Phones in hand. Eyes elsewhere. Conversations half finished. But Daniel noticed details others ignored. He remembered how Emily took her coffee. No sugar. Extra cream. He noticed the way she always pressed her lips together before speaking to difficult clients, as if preparing herself for impact. And most of all, he noticed how she never treated him like he was invisible. That alone felt unfamiliar. They began meeting in small fragments of time that did not belong to either of them. 10 minutes near the vending machines. A shared elevator ride. A quiet exchange while she printed reports late at night. One evening, the building was nearly empty when Emily found him wiping down the glass walls of a conference room. "You always work this late?" she asked. "Sometimes." "You don't talk much about yourself." "There is not much to say." She leaned against the doorway, watching him. "I don't believe that." He paused. "Why?" "Because quiet people usually have the loudest stories." For a moment, Adrian forgot he was Daniel. Forgot the disguise. Forgot the billion-dollar empire waiting outside these walls. He only saw her. "So what about you?" he asked. Emily gave a small laugh. "Me? I'm just trying to survive here without losing my mind." "That bad?" "Depends on the day." She hesitated, then added more softly. "People here smile at you in meetings, then undercut you in emails. You learn quickly not to trust compliments." Adrian felt something tighten in his chest. "Do you trust anyone here?" She thought about it. "No." Then, after a pause, "Maybe you." That word stayed with him longer than he expected. Maybe. It was not certainty. It was not expectation. It was possibility. And for a man who lived in a world where everything was calculated, that possibility felt like air after drowning. But possibility never lasts long in places built on power. The first crack came on a Tuesday morning. If you're enjoying this story, welcome to Tell Me More. Pour yourself a cup, because this story is about to get interesting. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more unforgettable stories. Now, let's find out why the Daniel was slapped. The lobby of Carter Global headquarters was always polished to perfection. He already knew tension when it entered a room. "Where is he?" a woman demanded sharply. Emily's voice responded, calmer but firm. "I already told you, the file was submitted yesterday. It is missing signatures. Do you understand what this means?" Adrian straightened slowly. He recognized the voice now. Vanessa Cole. Senior executive. Known for precision. Feared for impatience. Emily stood across from her, holding a tablet close to her chest. "I followed the checklist." Vanessa stepped closer. "You followed instructions from someone who clearly does not know what she is doing." A few employees stopped working. The lobby began to gather silence. Emily's jaw tightened. "I did my job." Vanessa's eyes flicked toward Daniel, who was still holding his mop. "And maybe," she said loudly, "you should spend less time chatting with maintenance staff and more time learning how this company actually operates." That was when Emily looked at Daniel. Just for a second. A flicker of embarrassment. Not for herself. For being associated with him in front of people like this. Something inside Adrian shifted. He kept his head down. He had seen worse. He had endured worse. But not from her. Vanessa turned fully toward Emily now, voice rising. "I am tired of incompetence dressed up as effort. This company does not survive on feelings." Emily stepped forward. "Then maybe it should start remembering it is made of people." The words landed harder than expected. The lobby went still. Vanessa's expression hardened. "You are replaceable." Emily did not step back. "And you are not untouchable." That was the moment everything snapped. Vanessa's hand moved before anyone processed it. The sound cracked through the marble space like breaking glass. The slap echoed through the marble lobby so loudly that every conversation stopped. Coffee splashed across the polished floor. The old mop slipped from the cleaner's hands as he staggered backward, one palm pressed against his burning cheek. Nobody moved. Nobody defended him. Some employees lowered their eyes. Others quietly reached for their phones. A woman wearing a tailored red suit folded her arms and laughed. "I told you not to touch my office," she snapped. "Do you know how much these shoes cost?" The cleaner bent down without saying a word. His hands trembled as he gathered the shattered coffee mug piece by piece. One sharp fragment sliced his finger. Blood dripped onto the spotless white marble. Still, he apologized. "I am sorry." His voice was calm. Too calm. The woman rolled her eyes. "Sorry does not pay dry cleaning bills. People like you should be grateful you even have a job." A few workers chuckled. Someone whispered, "They should stop hiring homeless people."
They should stop
Another
hiring
added,
homeless people.
"I heard he sleeps in his car." The cleaner never looked up. He simply picked up the mop again. Then something unexpected happened. The building's elderly security guard quietly stepped beside him. In a voice barely above a whisper, he said, "Sir, I can call them now." The cleaner stopped. Just for a second. His expression changed. Not hurt. Not humiliation. Authority. The kind of authority that made powerful people lower their voices. But it disappeared almost instantly. He smiled gently. "No." He resumed mopping the floor. "Not yet." The security guard nodded respectfully. "As you wish, Mr. Carter." No one heard those last two words. Not the executives. Not the receptionist. Certainly not the woman who had just slapped him. They all believed they were looking at a poor janitor making minimum wage. None of them knew. The man cleaning coffee off the marble floor owned every single brick of the billion-dollar building. And before the week was over, half the people laughing at him would be begging for their jobs. The other half would discover that money was the least valuable thing he had come looking for. Because he was not searching for another company. He was searching for the one thing his fortune had never been able to buy. A woman who would love him before she ever learned his name. Emily stood frozen. Not because of the slap. Not because of the humiliation. But because of him. Daniel had not reacted like someone who was powerless. He had reacted like someone choosing restraint. Her eyes searched his face as he slowly stood. For a split second, their eyes met. And something in his expression did not belong to a cleaner. It belonged to a man holding back a storm. Then he looked away. Just like that. Emily swallowed hard. Something about this moment did not feel right anymore. Not at all. And somewhere deep inside the building, a quiet phone call was made from a private office no one ever entered without permission. "Delay all executive meetings," a voice said calmly. "Is this about the incident in the lobby?" the assistant asked. A pause. "No," the voice replied. "It is about what they just did to my building." The line went dead. And for the first time, Carter Global Headquarters felt like it had just made a mistake it would not survive. By morning, Carter Global Headquarters felt different. Not louder. Not busier. Heavier. Phones rang longer before being answered. Executives walked faster but spoke less. Even the security guard stood straighter, exchanging quiet looks they could not explain. Vanessa Cole arrived early, as she always did. Precision was her habit. Control was her language. But control was already slipping. Her assistant met her at the elevator, face pale. "Legal just called," he said. Vanessa frowned. "About what?" A pause. "The lobby incident." Her expression tightened. "That cleaner." The assistant hesitated. "They are saying it involved Mr. Carter." Vanessa let out a short laugh. "Which Mr. Carter?" Another pause. "Adrian Carter." The laugh died before it finished. Across the building, Emily sat at her desk, but she was not working. She had not been working since the moment Daniel was slapped in front of everyone. Her mind kept replaying it. The way he fell back but did not react like someone broken. The way his eyes shifted, just for a moment, like something inside him had been locked away on purpose. She had tried to convince herself it was nothing. But nothing did not feel like this. At noon, an emergency company-wide meeting was called. No explanation. No agenda. Just a single instruction. Executive floor. Immediately. The auditorium filled in silence. Employees avoided eye contact. Vanessa sat in the front row, posture rigid, jaw tight. Emily entered late and stayed near the back. Then the doors closed. And everything stopped. Adrian Carter walked in without announcement. No security escort. No spotlight. No performance. Just him. But not the version they thought they knew. No cap. No disguise. No hesitation. The room shifted instantly. Whispers began before he even spoke. That's him. No, that's not possible. He is supposed to be. Adrian stood at the podium and looked at all of them. Long silence. Then he spoke. I was in your lobby yesterday. The room froze. I was standing in this building, cleaning it, while some of you reminded me exactly how you see people you believe have no value. Vanessa's face drained of color. Emily's breath caught. Adrian's eyes moved across the room slowly. And I learned something important. He paused. Power does not reveal character. It exposes it. Silence so deep it felt physical. I did not come down here to punish anyone, he continued. I came to understand what this company becomes when no one believes they are being watched. A beat. I was watching. Vanessa stood abruptly. This is absurd. You are saying you allowed yourself to be slapped. Adrian finished calmly. Her mouth closed. He nodded slightly. Yes. A ripple moved through the room. Adrian turned slightly toward the audience. But what matters more is not what happened to me. It is what you allowed to happen to each other when you thought there would be no consequences. His gaze stopped briefly on Vanessa. Then shifted. And landed on Emily. For the first time, his voice softened. And what you chose not to become. Emily's throat tightened. She realized something then. She had not been speaking to a cleaner. She had been speaking to a man who chose invisibility over pride. Adrian stepped back. This company will change. Not because I demand it. But because I will no longer build something that forgets who it is supposed to serve. He placed the folder on the podium. Vanessa Cole is suspended pending review. Gasps spread through the room. Vanessa froze. Emily did not look at her. She was still staring at Adrian. Because everything she thought she understood about Daniel had just collapsed. The meeting ended without applause. No one moved immediately. But Adrian did not stay. As he walked out, Emily finally pushed through the crowd. Daniel, she called instinctively. He stopped. Slowly turned. She stepped closer, voice unsteady. Who are you? A long silence. Then, gently. I am the man who wanted to know if someone could see me without knowing my name. Emily's eyes softened, but there was confusion too. You lied. I protected the truth until it mattered. Her voice dropped. And now? He looked at her for a moment that felt longer than it should. Now I do not know what happens next. For the first time, Emily did not speak immediately. Because she was not sure if she was standing in front of a billionaire. Or the first person who ever made him feel human. Adrian walked away again. But this time, Emily did not feel like she had lost him. She felt like the real story had just begun.